Viewers Andarku Namaskaram. It's a very, very special day for me to be here with ADGP C V Anand sir, who's a celebrity himself, who's been an inspiration for a lot of youngsters and also people in the department, who's got a President Award to himself and done so many things which we will be talking during the interview. So it's a pleasure sitting with you and talking to you.
It's my pleasure, actually.
Thanks a lot for this time. It means a lot for all of us.
Me and my entire family are big fans of yours.
So,
we really like your movies, and especially because you portray the police with such positive light, and really great admirers of yours.
Thank you so much. So kind of ma'am and your son to come and spend this time with us.
When they came to know that I'm going to do this thing, they were after my life to come and meet you.
It was a very short notice, very kind of you to do this. So just to start this conversation, have you seen Singam? Have you seen Yamudu sequence?
Oh yes, Yamudu we saw in the theatres, and then I remember it coming on several channels so many times. And
was it all right? Did we do the right thing?
It was a fantastic movie, I thought.
Thank you.
Of course, as a police officer and having seen things in the field, I think few things are exaggerated in movies, but we understand that it has to be done for the effect, and but it was the theme, the message was absolutely fantastic.
True. So this conversation I would like you to be also for the youngsters who want to join the force, want to be a part of the department. So we will take it that way. You, at the age of 22, as a ASP, and how did it start, sir? Like, what was your inspiration? And what was that which made you focus that way?
Yeah, let me be honest. I was a very serious cricketer. I played for state at all levels.
Under 19,
England. 22, and aspiration was to play for the country.
I can see, sir. Fitness.
Keeping myself fit even now, still playing. But certain circumstances do come up in life where everyone is not lucky enough to pursue their passions.
What was your passion, sir, otherwise?
My passion was to play cricket at that time, but there was an alternative coming up like this. I wrote the exam and just passed in the first attempt.
First attempt.
That's why I joined so young.
Wonderful.
But in those days, cricket was not so financially paying. So, family pressures and all operate. So I was almost forced to join.
We would have missed you, sir, if you had of course you would have been wonderful there too.
But policing, I had seen police officers do their duty, and I had seen a lot of movies of Amitabh Bachchan, and so police always attracted me as a profession. I mean, if you do anything, it was policing, I thought.
Thanks to people like you, sir, who've been an inspiration for all of us. This is my fourth film as a cop.
Yeah, I want to find out from you what exactly is it which inspires you to do such movies about cops, and what is it? How have you taken this love and affection for the
policing
department?
itself, I think, sir. But as you go back in your school days, they choose one person to be the class leader or the class monitor, and they give them responsibility to take care of the class when the teachers are not there. So it gives a big high to that person.
Yeah.
These 30, 40 students, they have to listen to me,
you're the
and
prefect.
I'm responsible. I'm taking the position of a teacher now.
You're the prefect.
Yeah, I have to, be friendly to them, and also I should not write their names on the board, but should keep the class in silence.
Right.
So it's a mixed emotion which you experience in school days. The same thing I think applies when you play a cop. You are one among them, but you also have a responsibility.
Because I've seen so many actors and doing roles of a cop, a super cop and all that. But I've never seen the emotion, the deep emotion which I see in you. You seem to be really taking up real passion.
I'll be coming to that, sir.
And that Singam too, which I have seen, the way you have portrayed Indian police. Indian police is great. That's fantastic too.
That's the reason.
I wonder where you get the passion from.
So that's the reason we have a lot of friends in the department. I think all this started with Director Hari sir.
Oh, really?
He wanted to be a part of the department, and he also went for the examinations. Of course, he couldn't clear like you in the first attempt, and I think family pressure and other reasons he couldn't pursue his first passion to be a part of this force. and yes, he became a director. But this first love is always there in the
I
mind.
know,
So
yes.
he completely follows and respects the department so much. So he understands every emotion, why they do what they do, and what goes through them. You know, being part of a family, being responsible son, and it's a mixed thing which he never lets go of. It's just not the cop in the uniform and doing his duty, but also the family emotion.
Oh, really?
He balances very well, and it's all his writing, his emotion, which I portray on screen. So whatever credits should completely go to my director
Because
Harisa.
we compare it with slightly non-serious movies like Dabang of Salman Khan, Gabbar Singh.
Yeah, it's
They wear the
entertainment,
uniform in a
completely
certain way and
entertainment.
they make people laugh. So, and the seriousness with which you do the job is something very contrasting and very something which really we feel. That
We
you really
genuinely feel that emotion, sir. Sometimes when there is a situation, it is all created. If there is a situation like this, and how a police officer should be reacting to it, it differs from person to person. If you have seen Kaka Kaka, the cop Anbu Chelvan will not talk this way, will not behave this way. It's a little more urban
Yes.
cop which I've played in Kaka Kaka. But Yamudu Singam sequence, he's from a very rustic, from a village.
Rural,
So people whom he meets, he has to talk to them in the same level. He can't be soft. Please don't do this mistake. No, what you're doing is not right. When the other guy is overpowering and when the other guy is loud, then he has to match with them or something like that, and he becomes that. Like something which will resemble you is he also liked football. He wanted to be a football player, and he also spends most of the time.
to tell you, we also have to do this balancing. Like when we work in districts, in very rural areas. In fact, I was the
There is
DIG
no
and
Diwali, there is no
I was,
Pongal,
I
there
was
is no
the
holiday.
SP and DIG of that area where you have portrayed East Godavari and all. So we have worked in highly rural areas, backward areas. So the way we function there and the way I've done metropolitan policing here as DCP and Commissioner of Police, and so they are different. Just as you have to balance those things in the movie, we also have to, because the education levels are different, the reactions, the media exposure is different. So we too have to be a little careful in that. And I have noticed this in your movies that you make those subtle changes in your acting. And
In this profession, it's not about making profits, doing a strategy, doing a different campaign and promotion and making large money. This is a profession where you don't see money at all.
unless we make it the wrong way.
True. Be it the teachers, be it professors, and of course being the police department, the pay scale might not be larger. But what has been a motivating factor, sir, for you to go on and be in love with this profession?
It's basically I had done no other job before I joined this service. I was straight from this college. So what was told to me in the academy, service and service to people, that really stuck. And I have lived with the slogan that wipe 25 to 50 tears a day. So that is the slogan.
25 to 50 tears a day.
I mean, if you can do that, then that's it. That you don't get any more satisfaction than that. But what is it that drives you to such
So
passions?
for me,
and
because it's on screen, sir.
because not only this cop role, I've seen other movies like Gajini and so many other lovely movies. That's Suriya,
Surya son of Krishnan, Varnamayiram in Tamil.
Lovely. You've done so many types of roles, and what touches me and my family is the passion with which you do it. What is it that how did acting come to you naturally? Was it how did you take to it?
So my dad is an actor, Shivakumar. He's multi-talented, I would say. He's just not an actor. He's a writer, orator. He's an artist first for 8-9 years. He was an artist. So he's done so many things. But somewhere art was really not my forte, and I thought I would never be an actor. I changed
really?
overnight, 5 days. I changed.
But you seem to be born for acting.
No, sir. It's because of a lot of love. Wonderful films which cannot be redone or replaced or remade by another actor. We give a lot of respect for so many actors in our industry. So they have been a big inspiration, source of inspiration for I'm in this field at this given point of time and at this age. So I am responsible. Like so many people are there, much talented and really gifted, but I've been lucky to be in this position, this place, and what am I doing? What kind of a good film
Do you at least
I'm
have
doing?
an idea
Meaningful
of how
film.
popular you are? I don't think so.
I do understand. I have a
Because,
God's blessing
because
hand
we
on my
keep
head.
traveling in various cities, and especially Chennai in South India, and you talk to any auto driver, and they say, if we ask a cab driver going from the airport to our meeting place, so we just ask them who is the. My wife speaks Tamil, so she gets one-to-one with the cab driver and asks. So he says, oh, of course, Suriya, and who else? So
I've been lucky that day. A cab driver who might have been my fan, maybe he must have.
I mean,
By
it's
coincidence.
you really touched
A
the
lot of
people's,
talented people are there in all the industries. Like these have been our motivating factors, actors. But to play a cop, for me, it's been Rajni sir's film, Moonru Mugham, and in that he says, "என் தாயை விட நான் அதிகமாக மதிக்கிறேன் பிறக்க போகிற குழந்தையோட அதிகமாக நேசிக்கிறேன்." So I respect this profession almost little more than my mother.
Oh,
and
really?
to be born
Very
baby,
nice
I
to
love
hear.
my profession more than my to be born baby. So that's a kind of depth, that's a kind of emotion they've given for these characters. How selfless and like respect they give this profession, and he can do anything. Nobody can stop him from doing right.
You must have also heard the bad things spoken about police, and you must have maybe experienced rude behavior on the. But despite all that, how is it that you get motivated to portray the police department and
It's
a
all
cop in
about
such a
positive thinking, no sir. It's all about spreading positivity everywhere. We have lot of people, but if you see one person doing right, you would want to connect with them, you want to be that. Why not like this? So got a little training also, how to when there's march or take a salute or hold a weapon.
Yes, yeah, I've noticed that the salute is also very
We also
absolutely
have
smart.
People always like we call, is the badge correct? Are we talking right? Is a cop allowed to speak like this? So maximum we try 80% we try to keep it as real as possible.
Yeah.
But for movies we do
I know, you
tweak
have
it a little bit for
Are
a
you
little more exact.
aware of the limitations they would have worked under and we work under? For instance, from 1991 to 2000, I was busy battling Naxals here. I mean, the Naxal problem. And I mean, after that, so many other issues. So
I would want to ask about that also, sir. What do you think, for as a very common person in Tamil Nadu, there are no sectors, but we are directly not updated, or it's not the heading every day. It's not the current thing, which maybe a Jallikattu or another thing. People in depth don't ponder and find out why this is happening and what is worrying them. What is the need for them to behave this way in everyday life? What are they actually going through? Is it right or wrong? So that analyzing thing maybe for the common people doesn't happen. You have been a part of it, and can you just, if you can share something?
Yeah, what the main difference I see between movies and this is the main limitation is that we are enforcement officers. We enforce the law of the land. So basically we cannot transgress that. We have to operate. We may have the same passions as.
Do you find a loophole to make it right?
Yeah, we do sometimes, to be honest. Yes, I mean, we stress the limits of law because we need to justify every action of ours. Even use of a slap is not permitted. I mean, we just cannot do that. And we are under so much of media glare, and with social media there now, we just don't know.
You're accountable for every bullet. Every single bullet you're accountable.
Every single word and action. So that is the pressure under which we operate.
In spite of all that, you have to
get
things
deliver
in
results
control.
despite all that, and it is possible. It is possible as long as you are on the right path within the limits of law and stretching it just so that even the courts do not find fault with you. There are ways to deliver it, and that's.
And you have rehabilitated so many of them, the Naxals, in spite of them being hardcore people who have been maybe brainwashed, maybe having a lot of very strong opinions, you were able to communicate, talk to them.
Basically,
and
we need to understand
them.
that there is still a lot of poverty in this society. There is a lot of injustice, inequalities, haves, have-nots. So we need to look at that problem from different perspectives. Just not that you can go and crush it.
Go be more in their shoes and think about it.
Yeah, we need to. Being a student of anthropology too, I always, first thing I tell all my police officers and who report, and that you need to be a social doctor first. You need to put yourself in the other's shoe and think, why is he reacting like that? And then you will get a different perspective. Don't think about it from your angle. That is
communication skills. You
communication
have to be
skills
so
and empathy is the very big factor which
very true
rides the job.
Very well said.
So how do you, what is different about this Singam 3? I've seen Singam 1, Yamudu 1 and 2.
I have not spoken this much, sir, but if you have seen both,
I've seen both, yes.
Yamudu 1 will be a mix of the village and when he is transferred to city and what are the challenges, and he says like, this is dirty, I don't want to do this, I want to go back to my village, I can start a departmental store, and that's the mindset he has. But he's been motivated, and again when he faces and how he faces the challenge is what happens in Yamudu 1. Yamudu 2 will be again a little more travel. I would want to come to that. Can a police officer travel out of country on duty? No,
Actually, when I was seeing the movie, I was reminded of
Kurshi Bank.
A Kurshi Bank scam where I went. It was not as easy as it was shown in the film because the
director made me travel. Your law and your regulations wanted.
We need extradition treaties with countries, and it was.
But that is a possibility.
It was a hard work for 6 months to liaise with the Ministry of External Affairs and with the Home Ministry of Thailand, and then finally we could push it through without a treaty with the country. Our team flew from Hyderabad straight to Bangkok, and brought back Kosaraju Venkateswara, who was the main accused, and he was hiding there. Interpol had traced him there. So he had been arrested by the Thai police and kept in a prison, but to bring him back took 6 months. But that I feel is the biggest experience for me. Operation D, if I remember.
Wow. Thank you, sir.
Operation D. So in chase of Operation D, you traveled all the way. Yeah. You got the clearances. What the technical finesse of that was that your Home Minister spoke to the Chief Minister, took the clearance. He said that he has spoken to the Union Home Minister, which is very necessary. Actually, the Union Home Minister will direct the CBI to give you the clearance. So you flew.
That's the power of an Indian police.
Yeah, and you coordinated with the South Africa police, and they do help you out like that. The Thai police caught them, kept him in Bangkok, and I went and coordinated with them and brought him back. So similarly, it was a good parallel, and I
wonderful. Happy you're able to say this. On
the technical finesse was very good.
And as I said, it's sometimes a thankless job, but in spite of that, to motivate you again and again, and sometimes people get complacent. They think, okay, this is enough, but you've never been that, and that's why the President Award from Abdul Kalam sir, that must have been a wonderful moment, a golden moment. So a lot of respect for what you're doing, sir. Keep motivating youngsters, keep motivating us.
I'm sure watching your films, a lot of people get attracted and want to join the police. I'm absolutely sure about that, because the type of response, for instance, we announce 1,000 posts. We get 4-5 lakh applications. It's even for home guards posts. So I'm sure it's the motivation they get from movies.
Somewhere if we have like been a part Singam, of it, a little part of it, we are happy. So we are
like
so
Singam 1, 2, 3 and such movies really inspire society, and I'm really thankful to you for that.
Please do watch our third sequel and let us know if you like it. And
oh yes, now that I know you personally, we will be in touch. And
thanks a lot for this time, sir.
Thank you so much.